Welcome to Thailand.com.ai. AI exploring how tech can daily life tie with Dave on this adventurous quest. Welcome to Thailand.com.ai, bringing you the best. Welcome to Thailand.com.ai, where innovation meets the sky. Dave's your guide in this tech-savvy ride. Thailand.com.ai, let's see what we can apply.
2, 3. Sawadee Cup. G'day and welcome back to the channel. Hope you are all well. Well, it's been a little while since I've posted because I've been quite busy, but this week has been a huge week. So let's retrace our steps. Okay, so early in the week, OpenAI had their day where they made some very big announcements. And one of the very big announcements was the release of GPT-4o. So everyone was waiting for GPT-5, but they've released GPT-4o, but what it can do is totally amazing. And the interesting part about the way they presented what the AI can actually do, I thought was quite good. So they've actually teamed up with Microsoft as well. And Microsoft also had a very big open day where they told everybody about what they were doing as well. So, as well as Google. So we've got all the big players this week. So there's a lot of AI news this week. So what I'll do is I'll run over some of the AI news, but I just want to make a comment on a couple of things. The last 2 weeks, what I've been doing is I've actually just been randomly approaching companies. I've been creating them a really complicated AI assistant based on their database. So I've gone through some of the clients that I sort of know quite well and checked out the size of their companies, so they're not tiny companies and they're not huge companies, but they've got lots of information they need to get across to people. So I built a couple of these and the response was really interesting. Some people straight away love it. I love AI, it's fantastic, it saves me so much time. I've played with GPT, I use it all the time, it's fantastic. Customer service is great, I'm constantly talking about the same answers, the same questions, running over the same stuff, and the AI can take that out of the picture. Basically an AI assistant. But interestingly enough, some of the people that I rang never even tried the model. Understandable. But when I did ring them and I got onto usually the receptionist and, to say, hi, I'm Dave, I made a model trained on your language and it's AI. And they've been very helpful. Like, oh, fantastic, looks great. And then, but I get this feeling that they look at it, they type in some questions, get some astonishing answers, like really good answers. I mean, just to give you an indication, one of the companies sells streaming equipment. So the streaming equipment is very complicated. There's lots of different answers, different ways to set things up. Just from a simple question, what's the best camera to use for streaming? Bang, get a whole stack of detailed information. Then they can drill down deeper into the information. Okay, does this streaming camera do that? Yes, and this is how you set it up. And this is so very, very comprehensive answer. More comprehensive than they would probably get from someone working over the phone or even via email, and instant response. So a lot of people do get it, but it's interesting, you can see, and this is only my opinion, that some of the people that I teach to, the two big pushbacks are not price. I mean, the price is not expensive at all for what you're getting. And I mean, you need to pay for the token. So unlike a website that's static, that, basically uses a bit of data, every time, there's a query, you need to pay for the tokens to get it back. Now, that has got cheaper and faster as well, and that will continue to do that. Training the models, basically getting the information and putting it together in the database and, getting it so it gives you good answers, that takes a fair bit of time as well. But again, that's probably going to increase in speed. But the pushback I have discovered, I think, comes from two things. One is, I honestly believe people think, this could put me out of the job. Like, this is really good at answering questions and my job is to answer the phone and I've just talked to you, so I'm not really going to tell my boss how good this is. This is just my opinion. There is pushback. People really are, I think, starting to become genuinely afraid as they see the capabilities of what this stuff can do and how it may directly impact their work depending on what they do. And like I said, even if you want to take a doctor as an example, I mean, these guys go to university for years, they have lots of people experience, they do all sorts of stuff. But in reality, if they've taken a brain scan or whatever piece of information that they've got to then assess you, they're only human. You know, they can't do what AI can do to pick up little tiny things that have been trained correctly. So it's not like, you know, I'm comparing a receptionist is going to lose their job to, you know, a doctor that's not, because everybody will be impacted by AI some way or the other. But that's my personal opinion. I'm talking about 20 different companies, so, you know, it's not just one or two. The other one is they just don't want the change, which is interesting. Like, oh, we love it, it's fantastic, but no, we're quite happy with the way things are going. And that's just human nature. When things are working, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But what I do try and convey to people is that this technology is not going away. The speed, the growth, and at all three of the major events, right, OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft, they all pretty well got up and said exactly the same thing. Exponential growth. Price reduction down, mass adoption about to happen. The people who know about this are comfortable with it. But I think what's happening is now the actual programs and ways you can implement this in your daily life are coming to you, and you need to make a choice. Do I get on board or don't I get on board? And I think the decision really is based on education. What do people understand about AI? Now, I try to give a balanced view, of what I think of what's happening. So I will have a look at a couple of videos. I'll show you a couple of videos from the presentations because they're very good. And I think it's good to have a visualization of how these things are going, as well as, these guys like Sam Altman are leading the field and very good orators, and they do actually explain what I can't explain any better. So what we'll do is we'll look at some of these from those things. And there's not much news in the newspaper for AI in Bangkok Post or in Thailand at the moment in the English-speaking newspapers. But the CSIRO in Australia actually released a really good explainer video on basically where AI sits. So that's another video that it's worthwhile watching, because again, a lot of these things I can sit and talk to you, but if I show you snippets of the different bits of information, it's quite good. But the first one I'll show you, which I thought was really good, and it basically, bearing in mind the big video on Monday that OpenAI brought out, where you basically talk, and this is what I've been saying, and we've done it with Pi and we've done it with Hume, this will be the interaction. And it will basically be like I said before, when you go to somebody's website, you are the one that needs to look for the information based on that platform. And we're used to that. We go to a website, okay, we want to buy a camera, we want to buy a car, we want to buy whatever. We have to follow the that's the section on product. Oh wait, what sort of product is it? So you actually have to drill down. I mean, it's great information. And the other interesting thing that came out from Google this week is the way that people are searching. So once upon a time, all of a sudden Google came out. This is going full circle, because back in 1998, I'm showing my age now, when I was doing some pretty good domain name registration stuff and really ranking very well on search engines like Alta Vista and Ask Jeeves. Ask Jeeves is a great example. Ask Jeeves encouraged people to write a big, long question about what they're after. I want to buy a car. I want to buy a purple one, and I live in wherever, Wangaratta, Parramatta. I live there. Bangkok, right? You ask the question long form, but then all of a sudden, when Google started to become the dominant search engine, it was like car, Bangkok, So the search that people look for got narrowed down, and then basically, initially you could rank with good content. Then obviously the money came into it, where you can't blame Google. Like, the more you pay them, the higher you're going to rank. So that changed, but now, even Google are finding that people are starting, since the advent of ChatGPT in particular, people are now starting to type in long questions, asking like prompts as to what can be done. So straight away there's a shift, even in the last 12 months, about what's going on. So the way things have changed, the information that now people expect, bearing in mind it's no different to a Google search that people are starting to do, they want the instant information. So these AI agents straight away can take your data and release it back to you, right? So that will be a change. When you go to someone's website, you will want to interact with it and talk to it, and it will answer you with the questions you want without having to search through everything. That is an absolute certainty of the way things will happen. Now, obviously some businesses don't get a lot of web traffic, they use social media or whatever other platform they use, but it will be exactly the same. So the people, the general public, us, the way we interact and get information, buy things and do things, will change, no doubt about it. The voice is also because people like to talk. So people like to talk to people. Now, when the machines like Hume that I've had on previous programs, and particularly Pi, talk, you can have a conversation. The new GPT 4.0 that's multimodal, they featured where you can actually talk, and there was a bit of controversy about, the movie called Her and whether it's Scarlett Johansson's voice that they actually based it on. But whatever the case may be, if it happened to sound like her voice and it was someone different, well, good on OpenAI, good marketing strategy maybe. But anyway, who knows? But the whole point is you can interrupt it. You can interrupt it halfway through. So it becomes more natural. Right? It becomes a more natural conversation. And they did a very good example of how that works. And if we think of everything that goes into generative AI as a token, whether it's a video token or a picture token, that basically, the output can be interrupted and then retokenized and put back to make it more like natural conversation. So, and the next one is vision. It's just astonishing. Both Google, OpenAI and Microsoft are working with AI, is now the AI can see. So, these revelations and the applications that can become of that. Imagine if you've got bad eyesight. You can technically, and you don't want to go out of your house, you can actually use the technology on the phone as the camera, and it will talk to you as your assistant, as your personal assistant, and say, hey, watch out, there's this, or watch out, there's that. And the latency times are instant. It's not like, oh, watch out for that car, so it really, really has rocketed along, and people just don't understand it. So hopefully, anyway, I will try and keep explaining things as best I can. So we might go and have a look at a couple of videos now, and they can explain it probably better than me, and you're probably bored with me chatting away here for 10 minutes anyway. All right, so we'll go and have a look at something interesting. Okay. Yes, so this is from the Microsoft big announcement day where they actually, covered everything they were doing with AI. And they actually, because they're working, they had Sam Altman there and they were talking. So basically, they're working together. And this was an example they gave since the release, only early, in the week, of GPT 4.0 and what it can do with the voice feature and what it can do with the video feature. So this is quite a good one to watch.
Is going to accrue to make things really ubiquitous in terms of how you can go deploy them.
Kevin grins.
A quick demo video here. So let's roll the video, show you.
Hey, Microsoft Build Conference is tomorrow, and I have not been sleeping, and I am making stupid mistakes. Can you help me take a look at this code?
I'd be happy.
The woman talks to her phone.
Tell me a bit more about the issue you're facing with the code. For example, are you getting an error message, or is the code not doing what you expect it to do?
Let me just show this to you. She opens her phone's camera.
You're working on a Python function to summarize main points from a keynote.
What I'm trying to do is go through a list of keynoters and summarize all of their work. And my problem is that I wanted to just add Kevin's name to the end of the keynote list, and it added every character of his name instead of just his whole name. What did I do wrong here?
Change keynote list.extend to keynote list.append last keynote. This will add Kevin as a single element to your list, just like Satya and Rajesh.
Ooh.
The woman hooks up her phone camera to her laptop. She types on the laptop.
Give it a go and let me know how it works.
Okay, I replaced extend with append. Does that look right?
Yes, that looks better.
All right, I made that change. Let me run it and try.
Sounds good. Let's see how it goes.
It worked. Satya, Rajesh, and Kevin all came out.
Awesome, I'm glad it worked out. Sometimes the smallest things can trip us up, especially when we're sleep deprived.
Thank you.
The woman smiles at her phone. On stage, Kevin. He grins.
Yeah, so we can actually see from there, that's just a clip that could happen to any of us, but the technology, that is practical use. This morning, I woke up very, very early, and what I had to do was someone asked me for tracking on a particular product that I'd sent out. So I'm half asleep, that would mean I'd have to go and type the number, which is about 20 digits long. So I just grabbed the receipt from my camera, put it into ChatGPT, said, look, what is the tracking number on this one? Bang, it just prints out the tracking number in about half a second. I cut and paste that in, find out the tracking, and then I'm done, go back to sleep. So the good thing is, these practical things people don't even know about. They will just become ubiquitous the way we use them. So I thought that was a very good example of just a use case that can be done. Admittedly, it's done by Microsoft, but at the same token, that could be anyone. So let's have a look at another one now. Yes, and so the next one is from Google, and it's very similar actually in nature. So we can see that these large companies are actually agents are, it's all about agents, I suppose that's the best way to say it, all about voice and all about video. So let's have a quick look here and we shall see what is going on.
Today we have some exciting new progress to share about the future of AI assistants that we're calling Project Astra. For a long time we wanted to build a universal AI agent that can be truly helpful in everyday life. Here's a video of our prototype, which we'll see has 2 parts. Each part was captured in a single take in real time.
What does that part of the code do? This code defines encryption and decryption functions. It seems to use AES-CBC encryption to encode and decode data based on a key and an initialization vector, ID.
Do you remember where you saw my glasses?
Yes, I do. Your glasses were on the desk near a red apple.
Give me a band name for this duo.
Golden Stripe.
Nice. Thanks, Gemini.
Okay, so working backwards, so the OpenAI Spring announcements, which is the one that really came first and got in before Google and got in before Microsoft, I think they actually do the best at displaying how this technology is going to work. And this is where the controversy came up, and comparisons to Her, the movie, and is it Scarlett Johansson's voice or whatever. But I think this is really, really good. So so let's have a look at that and see. So you can have a look.
Hi, I'm Barrett. Hey, I'm Mark. So one of the key capabilities we're really excited to share with you today is real-time conversational speech. Let's just get a demo fired up. So I'm taking out a phone. If you are wondering about this wire, it's so we have consistent internet. And if you see, there's this little icon on the bottom right of the ChatGPT app, and this will open up GPT-4o's audio capabilities. Hey, ChatGPT, I'm Mark. How are you?
Oh, Mark. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Hey, so I'm on stage right now. I'm doing a live demo, and frankly, I'm feeling a little bit nervous. Can you help me calm my nerves a little bit?
Oh, you're doing a live demo right now? That's awesome. Just take a deep breath. And remember, you're the expert.
I like that suggestion. Let me try a couple deep breaths.
Interesting how
Can you
he
give me
interrupted.
feedback on my breaths? Okay, here I go.
Whoa, slow a bit there. Mark, you're not a vacuum cleaner. Breathe in for a count of 4.
Okay, let me try again. So I'm gonna breathe in deeply, and then breathe out.
For 4, and then exhale slowly.
Okay, I'll try again. Breathing in, and breathe out.
That's it. How do you feel?
I feel a lot better. Thank you so much.
So Mark, you've been working on these capabilities for a while now. Can you tell us a bit how it's different from voice mode?
Right, so if you've used our voice mode experience before, you'll notice a couple key differences. First, you can now interrupt the model. You don't have
That's
to
a
wait
big
for
thing.
it to finish your turn before you can start speaking, and you can just butt in whenever you want. Second, the model is real-time responsiveness. So that means that you don't have this awkward 2 to 3 second lag before you wait for the model to give a response. And finally, the model picks up on emotion, right? When I was breathing super hard there, it could tell, and hey, you might want to calm down a little bit. You're kind of running a little bit too fast. So, it really has that capability across the board to perceive your emotion. Not only that, though, the model is able to generate voice in a variety of different emotive styles, and it really has a wide dynamic range. So I'm going to fire up another demo for that. Yeah.
This is actually quite interesting too, how it changes on the fly.
ChatGPT, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Pretty good.
What's up?
So my friend Barrett here, he's been having trouble sleeping lately, and I want you to tell him a bedtime story about robots and love.
Oh, a bedtime story about robots and love? I got you covered. Gather round, Barrett. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Byte. Byte was a curious robot, always exploring.
Started this story, but I want a little bit more
I
emotion.
like the way the
A little bit more
interrupt thing
drama.
comes in. That's
Got
good.
it. Let's add some drama. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Byte.
No, ChatGPT. I really want maximal emotion, like maximal expressiveness, much more than you were doing before.
Understood. Let's amplify the drama. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Byte. Byte
Can
was
you do this in a robotic voice now?
initiating dramatic robotic voice. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Byte. Byte was a curious robot, always exploring new circuits.
Barrett, here, calm down a little bit. Can you end the story, but do it in a singing voice?
And so Byte found another robot friend, and they lived circuitly ever after.
Thank you so much.
I definitely feel a lot more relaxed.
Yeah, so I won't continue to go and watch that because it's very interesting, but I just wanted to show a comparison between the three major companies and how voice and interaction with agents, and will be your own personal agent trained on whatever information you want to train it on, will just become ubiquitous. So you heard it here first, folks. No, you didn't. That's all good. Yeah, so the other interesting things that I saw a very good TED talk about, as you know, IoT to control a home and integrating talking, as I've done with Pi, you know, to say, hey, it becomes the new Google or the new Alexa, you know. But it was a very interesting concept about your home is where you relax the most. Your home is where you've actually, you know, you don't let the outside world necessarily interfere with what's going on. So a smart home truly could read your health, you know, how your conversation is, what you're doing. There's all sorts of things. It can make suggestions. Hey, don't forget to take the tablet, or, you know, shut the window because, you know, there's a pollination alert, or there's a thunderstorm coming, or there's lightning, go and bring your washing in. You know, this is really not science fiction anymore. This will just become ubiquitous. So anyway, I'm a bit excited about the whole thing. I won't go on and on and on. I'll probably cut it there. And yeah, so we'll leave it there. And next episode, I'm not sure, I'm actually going to hopefully do a bit on IoT to catch up. But the AI news just keeps flowing in thick and fast. So, and I really do like to try and explain to people how all this works. So if you do like what I'm doing, please, as they say, subscribe and click and all that stuff. But anyway, till next time, Sawadee Cup, and stay safe.
So hit that subscribe, don't be shy.